Harry, this is Lord Potato, and this is What If Shinra Had Special Generations, Part 2. Now, Part 3, not Part 2, Part 1 was uploaded yesterday, I would say. Was it yesterday? I actually can't remember. No, not yesterday. Yesterday I uploaded, well, no, yesterday in the morning, night, whatever. I uploaded, like, part ends of different What Ifs. No, so, like, 3, 2, 4. I don't know when I uploaded part 1, but not the point. Let me begin into this part 2 and let me shut the fuck up because I won't have enough time because later on I have to go pick up a lot of things. But yeah, let me begin. Let me shut the fuck up and let me, yeah, shut up mostly. Also, no recaps because it hasn't been 1 month. Phew. But yeah, so let me begin. So we go into Shinra. Shinra is right now just laying on the bed, trying to go to sleep, but feels like something's terribly wrong. His instinct is mostly telling him that something went kind of terribly wrong. This is where, well, Arthur kind of says, "Hey, devil, can't you just go to sleep?" This is where, well, Shinra says, "Oh my god, hey, Knight, I want you to shut up. Go to sleep with one eye open before I decide to go down there and murder you." This is where, well, Maki kind of like runs in and says, "Did you guys see, what's it called, Iris?" This is where both of them are saying no. This is where, well, we go into, well, Iris kind of meeting up with Habana. Habana says, "What are you doing here, sister?" Or, "No, you're not a sister of mine. I no longer know, well, what's it called? No, what the fuck? Or something like that. N-U-N, yeah, numb, whatever." This is where, Sister Iris says, "Please, sister, you need to stop this." This is where, she says, "This is not the way of the," this is where Habana smacks her and says, "Shut up. There's no such thing as God in this world," blah, blah, blah. She goes rumbling on. This is where, well, Company 8 shows up. Mostly, what's it called? The Lieutenant, Maki, Arthur, and even, Shinra. Shinra does land from the sky and explodes into like these bluish flames and says, "Move out of my way, you fucks. Cremation burning hell rage." This is where he's like swing his left hand forward in front of him, and this is where a cremation blast blows up right in front of him, blasting every person away thanks to the impact of the flame attack. Mostly, no, it wasn't raging hell flames. It was mostly takes cremation explosion impact. This is where it does push a lot of people, smashing them towards different like sides of what's called walls and all that. This is where the Lieutenant, Arthur, and even what's called Maki shows up. This is where, well, Lieutenant says, "Shinra, you need to get towards, well, where Iris is at, okay?" This is where Shinra says, "Got it." This is where, well, Shinra starts kind of running in high speeds thanks to his, Adola burst. This is where, well, when he's kind of rushing towards, well, where Iris is at, this is where Arthur's chasing him and saying, where did he go? Oh, you know, that's very convenient, because Shinra does leave some footprints, so of course that happens. So, of course, this is where, well, when Shinra is running towards, well, where Iris' location is at, Iris is kind of like, her clothes are burned, of course, this is where a coat is on her now to cover up, because, well, Habana does that. This is where, well, someone bursts through the room. Someone busts through the room of where Habana and Iris are at. And of course, it's none other than Shinra. This is where Arthur's fighting against that one old man and even the Inferno. And this is where, well, Arthur's losing, realizing that he doesn't have his sword in his right hand. Even though, but yeah. This is where he does defeat that one Inferno. Of course, Maki and, well, the Lieutenant do defeat, like, the other rest people by just beating their asses. But, yeah. This is where, well, with that happening, Shinra is saying, "Iris, are you okay?" Or, mostly, he says, "Sister Iris, are you okay?" This is where Iris says, "Shinra." This is where, well, she says it kind of quietly, but this is where Shinra hears it. This is where, well, Shinra says, "Get away from the sister." This is where Habana says, "Ah, you must be the devil. Let's see if you can handle my heat wave." This is where she makes like what's it called? A heat wave appears, kind of like giving Shinra a heat stroke. But Shinra seems to be unaffected by this. he looks at Habana confusedly. You know how Luffy, when he gets hit by a lightning strike from what's called Andrew, or you can call him Ando. But of course, this is where when Luffy gets hit, he's confused and kind of just twisted his head to the side, saying, This is where, well, Shinra's the same, huh? This is where, well, Habana says, huh? Why aren't you going down? You're grabble, you're grabble, you're grabble. I don't care if you have this special what's called third generation. You're just grabble. All of you are grabble. That's what Shinra says. Okay, if I'm grabble, then I'm gonna kick your ass so damn hard for you to understand that I'm a beautiful shining diamond. This is where Havana says, yeah, right. This is where she starts trying to attack, well, Shinra. Shinra is just kind of dodging the attacks of mostly like flower petals kind of trying to hit him. This is where, well, Shinra is saying, well, time to kick your ass. This is where Shinra was about to just like try to hit her in the face by kicking her in the face. And this is where she managed to dodge and says, no. I won't lose to grabble like you. This is where she says, mostly she says, tree of Sakura blossom tree. This is where, well, it's a tree of Sakura blossoms. Well, yeah, because like cherry blossoms or whatever. Because Sakura and well, not Japanese, English is what's called cherry blossom. But yeah, this is where, well, even though that's a useless character in Naruto, but whatever. But of course, we go into Shinra. Shinra is kind of like seeing this giant tree appear, and that's where she says, I will destroy you, grabble. You're nothing but a pathetic weakling to me. I won't lose to you. No, no, no. This is where, oh, Shinra, he sees the flower petals are like hitting him, and of course the heat stroke is right now hitting him also, but he seems to be unaffected by the heat stroke. It's like if he already trained in higher temperatures before. This is where Shinra looks at, well, Habana. And this is where when the, what's it called, Sakura petals are all around him, kind of like blowing around like a tornado twister around him. This is where, well, Shinra, he kind of puts both of his arms together into a cross, like if he's blocking, but really he's charging up something. This is where he spreads them out, up forwards, like in front of him mostly, like on top of him and all that. He says, cremation style. Well, he says, cremation style, cremation burst of raging flame hell. This is where a giant burst of blue flames explodes everything, burning right now these Sakura petals. Even though they're already made of fire, they're right now burning thanks to the cremation being hotter than that. This is where, well, Shinra seems to have very like burnt skin a little bit. Like I should mention one thing. Shinra hasn't really shown his like muscles or anything in her body. But of course, Shinra seems to like have his like clothes kind of burnt. Mostly like firefighter clothes. How are they kind of burnt even though they're kind of heat resistant? His cremation is a bit of a hotter flame type. So of course it does burn through the kind of jacket. This is where, well, Shinra takes off his jacket and seems to just be fighting with no jacket. This is where he says, time to kick your ass, bitch. This is where she says, how? How? No, that's impossible. There's no one able to control blue flames. But you're different. Yeah, I'm different. Cremation burst in hell. Flame ball. She makes a flame ball appear right in his left hand and was about to like hit her like a Rasengan and all that. But of course, this is where Shinra stops so close to her face and says, give up now. This is where she says, no, because you're just... This is where Shinra, he decides to fucking uppercut her shit with the right fist. And of course, just launching her up and then falling down. This is where, well, she kind of wakes up after a couple of seconds pass. This is where she says, how? How did I lose? This is where Shinra says, hey, sister, are you okay? This is where Sister Irene says, yeah. This is where she's having actually stars and seeing, well, Shinra's blue flames again. Because they're a beautiful kind of color, bluish flames. This is where, oh. She is saying, can I see your flames again? This is where Shinra says, no. Besides, they're dangerous. This is where, well, she does kind of remember how Havana does tell her that even though she's able to control like fire and make them into flowers, they're still dangerous. So yeah, she kind of gets reminded. And this is where, well, she then looks at Havana and then, what's it called, Shinra? I was about to call him Shikamaru. No, but of course, Shinra just says, well, what are you looking at? That's where Havana wakes up and says, damn it, how did I lose to you? I guess your company's going after the information. Yes, because already, well, what's it called? Well, the lieutenant and Monkey did get the information, but yeah, well, the information from computers, but yeah, This is where, well, Shinra says, yeah. This is where, well, Iris says, I'm happy that you're kind of awake. What's called Habana, like an original candidate say whatever. Of course, this is where, well, she says, yeah, this is where Shinra, he stands up and does a pose. And this is where he says, if you ever need help, you should call out. Should I call? This is where, well, Shinra doesn't actually have the same spiritual, well, not spiritual, like spirit moment to kind of be calling him a hero himself, because he doesn't believe in being a hero most of the time. This is where, well, Shinra says you should be calling out me, the anti-hero. Cremation burning man? No, that sounds stupid. Just call me anti-hero for right now. This is where, well, she kind of blushes, have hearts in her eyes, still. But of course, this is where, well, she says, don't you mean hero? This is where Shinra says, nah, I don't do anything what those heroes usually plan and blah, blah, blah. Whatever rules that they have to follow society. An anti-hero doesn't mean I have to follow anything. So yeah, this is where, well, she says, I see. Okay. This is where, well, Iris still has that plan to kind of make it a big party scene of like Company 5 and Company 8 doesn't seem any suspicious, like they just got their asses kicked by Company 8. And so what, well, everyone is kind of celebrating, yes, the next day and all that. It was just a test. That's what they got to be calling on that. Of course, where Shinra is kind of getting beaten by, well, Habana. And of course, Shinra doesn't actually understand why she's doing this, but screw it, it's free food. This is where, well, he is just eating, but yeah. The next day happens, and of course, this is where, well, they are kind of, what's it called, well, is it? Right. They are going into company number 1, because the fact that they kind of got in a lead that number 1 is mostly kind of a lead of this and information and all that. So of course they get to company 1, mostly Arthur and Shinra. Of course, where, well, Shinra still proposed for a little test of abilities. And of course he still is brave enough to kind of tell Burner that if Shinra manages to win, that he gets to get anything in return. But yeah. That's where Burner agrees with, but yeah, everyone is fighting like original canon, even Arthur versus Burner. Of course, Arthur tries to use his like plasma beam and sees that, well, it doesn't even cut Burner. Burner says, you need a hotter flame than that. He kicks the car, well, Arthur away, and of course, Arthur's like, oh, my stomach hurts, fuck. Shinra, he looks at Burner, right now just grinning like this madman. This is where, well, everyone has kind of seen this. Takamaki says, damn it, that idiot. He's going to be fighting against Burner. I haven't even been able to fight him. Damn it. This is where, well, for some reason when she was kind of talking about Shinra in her mind, this is where, well, for some reason it crossed her mind. Ew. This is where she kind of blushes. She's like, no, I shouldn't be thinking of him. No. This is where, well, Shinra kind of looks at, well, Burner. And Shinra starts kind of using his dollar burst to start fighting against him, using most of his kicks and all that. This is where, well, the 3 kind of lieutenants are behind Burner. Says, damn, he has very powerful, what's it called, like power of those kicks. This is where, well, Burner says, interesting. You're strong, but you still need what's it called, stronger flames. It won't be able to affect me. This is where, well, Burner hits what's it called Shinra a palm strike, and this is where Shinra gets pushed back, but this is where Shinra doesn't fall down. No, he gets up, and this is where, well, Shinra did get what's called. Remember what's called Burner called well, not called, told what's it called Arthur about needing hotter flames, hot flames, burning, raging flames. Doesn't work well. He does get a memory about, well, his mother and his brother being in that house burn, but he still doesn't know what is it. That's why he wants information from Burner, because he was the one being there. This is why, well, he is right now remembering this, and right now feeling a boiling rage inside his body. A rage that can't be compared to anything until he finds the information. This is why, well, when he's kind of getting this rage, he's also remembering someone else. Someone that has been with him for a while, but died about 2 years ago. An old man This is where, well, this old man was smiling towards Shinra and says, "Hey Shinra, you want some tea or something?" This is where when Shinra kind of like they drink tea with the old man. The old man has, well, like a blank, like some kind of blur right now his face, and you can't really see his eyes. But of course, you can just see his like mouth and all that. And of course, when he's drinking tea with Shinra, this is where, well, the old man combusts into flames, turning into an inferno. This is where, well, Shinra remembers one thing, and one thing only. He remembers, well, not combusting into flames, no. He kind of remembers, kind of, one day kind of getting so angry with the, well, not old man, mostly with someone, an inferno and all that. Because the inferno kind of hurt the old man. And this is where Shinra remembers just going, passing out, and waking up the next time with no clothes, but suffer his, like, pants and all that. This is where, well, Shinra just, his eyes transformed from a reddish color towards a bluish color. And right now, he is nothing but bluish flames are appearing around what's called, well, Shinra's body. This is where, well, Burner was confused. Blue flames? All the lieutenants were like confused. Takamaki and even Maki and Arthur were confused. They have seen what's called Shinra use his blue flames, but mostly transform it into his hand, not into his body, entirely his body. This is where they're kind of combusting into what's called Shinra's, like, they're just appearing in Shinra's body. And this is where, well, they are just appearing until they just fully combust. Blue flames just engulf, well, Shinra. This is where Burner was confused. And this is where Shinra says, "Nah, no, I won't give up." This is where, well, the blue flames are right now just, what's it called Shinra? Just consuming him, but really it's transforming his body. Shinra is right now transforming his body into something that, well, no one has seen over 10,000 years ago. Something that they have never seen, because it's only been in mystical stories. This is where Shinra, his legs, instead of just being legs, has been transformed into kind of being like bird legs, very skinny, but also being in blue and having claws. This is where, well, his upper body kind of changes, and even his arms. His arms seem to just change into being wings, but these bluish wings. This is where his face and body and all that changes into kind of looking like a bird. Also known as this bird being Phoenix. Bluish Phoenix model. This is where, well, Shinra screeches out right now being in this Phoenix mode. And this is where, well, Burner was confused. But this is where Shinra does like fly up pretty damn fast. Like he flies up so fast. And this is where, well, Shinra does kind of go down, like swoops down like a hawk and all that, straight towards Burner. And where Burner tries to like block an attack from Shinra and all that, this is where Shinra was basically using his claws, like one bird claw and all that, but transforming it mostly into a fist and all that, and punching, well, or kicking mostly, at Burner. When Burner felt the force of this punch, behind him, just like the lieutenants get pushed away thanks to the power of how powerful the impact was with Burner and Shinra. Burner actually did get pushed a couple of inches, and his arm felt like every bone crack in there. This is what, well, Burner is winding his eyes. He never thought that this kid, also known as Shinra, also known as the Devil Foot, can just transform his body into a fucking phoenix, and especially having a very powerful blue flames, because his skin seems to be singed. He's like, this guy's dangerous. He wants information, but I can't tell him. This is what, well, Shinra is right now in berserker form. He's not in fully control. Well, he is, but in kind of a little bit of control. This is where, well, Shinra is kind of flying around, but right now at high speeds. This is where, well, Shinra is right now going straight towards, again, swooping down, straight towards Burner. Burner, he tries to block the punch that, well, Shinra tries to hit him again with a kind of like kick mostly. And this is where, well, Burner says, that's it, I'm gonna have to knock you out, kid. So sorry about this, but you need to be knocked out. And so, well, if you heard that in the background, just me hitting, well, kind of hitting the fridge reactor. But of course, Shinra kind of kicks at Burner again, and Burner he blocks it again with the same arm, mostly right arm. But this is where, well, he kind of didn't notice this. But when Shinra kicked him with the right leg, Shinra did kick him with the right leg and being Phoenix mode. And this is where Burner thinks that just Shinra is out of control. He's not in control in this form. But this is where he didn't notice, but the left kick was actually going towards his side of his head. He whined his eyes. He had to dodge away from Shinra and did get his clothes kind of singed. This is where the lieutenants are realizing that this person is right now in Phoenix mode, but is he in fully control? Well, they can't fucking tell. This is where, well, Shinra is kind of flying and around, and this is where he sends blue flames from his mouth, still being in this Phoenix mode, and trying to burn, Burner. This is where Burner, he managed to block the blue flames with his own flames, and this is where he appears in the air right now with his fist kind of in the flames, and right now punching Shinra in the, head. Right now in the Phoenix mode, yes, and of course, when Shinra gets hit in the face with, what's it called? Burner's attack, he smashes down to the ground. This is where, well, Shinra is still in his Phoenix mode, but is happily in his Phoenix mode. It looks like the blue flames are dissipating. This is where, when Shinra tries to get up, but of course, what's it called? A good chunk of his torso is showing out, but mostly skin muscles, but they're a little bit burnished with the kind of blue flames. It's not like he's fully in control, and of course, it does hurt his body. This is where, well, Burner appears again, right now punching, well, Shinra in the face, fully in the face, like in the bird face mode, because his face hasn't fully transformed into being his normal human. But when Shinra got hit by it, he smashes down to the ground, and of course, this is where, well, he fully is transforming back into a human, but of course, his skin seems to be singed. And of course, this is where, well, his clothes are already all burnt, except for his pants. Well, they turn into shorts, but yeah. This is where, well, Shinra, he is just passed out. His eyes are blanked and he just knocked the fuck out. This is where, well, the lieutenant says, Burner, Captain Burner, are you okay? This is where Burner says, of course I'm okay. Tokamaki never expected. The person that she kind of met at the festival was this strong and able to kind of hurt Burner. This is where, well, Arthur and, well, Maki were shocked. They never actually heard or even thought that Shinra can go into a form like this. Shinra has only expected this form, well, experienced this form once in his life. And right now, seconds, right now fighting against Burner. And that's where Shinra is knocked out. But of course, this is where, well, Burner says, Tokamaki, can you bring him to the nurse and all that? Tokamaki says, yes, sir. Of course, she was about to fall until, well, that one Stardew, and the Stardew says, that would never work on me, Tokamaki. Haha. This is where Tokamaki says, thank you. This is where she kind of goes with kind of grabbing Shinra. And of course, she tries to grab him, but of course, she feels like his skin is kind of rough thanks to the blue flames. It stings a little bit. This is where, well, Tokamaki still kind of tries to carry him. But of course, she doesn't really want to hurt him that much because his skin is still kind of not second degrees, mostly first degrees kind of burnt, or a little bit of second degrees in some parts. This is where Maki kind of helps Tokamaki, and of course they kind of bring Shinra towards kind of the nurse place. Of course, we go into 2 days time skip. Of course, this is where, well, Shinra is kind of fully awake, and of course his skin started coming back into just being his normal skin instead of being a dark char color. This is where he is actually managing to heal himself thanks to his blue flames. His blue flames isn't just burning, but also being able to heal himself. So of course, well, he says, oh, my body hurts like hell. Oh, my head also hurts. It's like I was punched with multiple cement bricks to the face. This is why Arthur says, you will wait, devil? Screw you, you fucking prick. How much time do I have to tell you I'm not a devil? But you know what, your fucking thick-ass brain probably won't ever fucking figure that out. But whatever. This is where, well, Arthur says, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was what? All I remember is fighting against Burner, and then after a couple of minutes, I saw nothing but blue and then black, and I don't know. This is where, well, Arthur says, All I remember is you turning into a giant fiery chicken. The hell? Fiery chicken? Dude, are you sure you're not on fucking crack or something? I'm sorry, did you eat something funny or something? This is where, well, Arthur says, no, I'm fucking telling you the serious truth. Me and Maki and others, they see you turn into a fiery chicken. That's where Maki walks in and says, no, you idiot. That's not a fiery chicken. It's called, if I can remember right, I remember reading this on a book one time. It's called a phoenix, you fucking moron. Arthur says, kind of looks like a fiery chicken. This is where Maki kicks him and pushes him out of the fucking way. And this is where she kind of asks Shinra how did he transform into a phoenix? This is where, Shinra says, I don't know. It's like, my body doesn't feel extremely that hurt. It feels like I used it before, but I can't remember. Besides, what the hell even happened? Even if I was in this kind of flaming bird or whatever. It's called Phoenix, but you were fighting against Burner. Looks like you were about to win, but he still managed to knock you out. Fuck! Shouldn't I say something sad? And he been out loud. This is where Maki says, but calm down. But that was interesting. So, I'm just gonna leave you here. And don't worry, Shinra, we will talk later. But I need to get to the lieutenant and all that. That's where Shinra says, I understand. Then good luck. Shinra passes out, going back to sleep. But he's dead ass tired. But this is where I'm gonna leave it off for part 2 of What If Shinra has special abilities or special generations, mostly. But other than that, have a nice potato day, potato night, potato sea, potato, and good night. Bye.